You ever get that feeling in your chest when the shop furnace finally kicks over on a Monday morning? It's like the whole building is taking a deep breath before the chaos starts. Welcome to the TigerDen, folks. It is February 16th, 2026, and I'm currently looking at a pile of discarded prototypes that suggest I'm better at making sawdust than actual furniture.
Well, at least sawdust is biodegradable. Your ego might take a bit longer to break down. Happy Monday, Tiger. You sound unusually energized for someone who spent his weekend struggling with a secret table.
It's the atmosphere, Alex. There's a buzz in the air right now that feels different. I was reading through the new Gardner Business Index this morning while the coffee was brewing, and the metalworking sector is absolutely redlining. We're seeing the strongest numbers in over 3 years. It's like everyone suddenly realized simultaneously that we actually need to physically build things again.
It's about time. But strong numbers is a bit abstract for the guy sitting in his garage with a stick welder. Does this mean more work for the small shops? Or is this just big industrial conglomerates moving numbers around?
Oh, it's trickling down, no doubt about it. When the big shops get backlogged, the overflow starts looking for hungry makers. And if you're running a small operation, you've got to be looking at the 2026 Top Shop survey. It's basically a peek over the fence at your most successful neighbor's yard. It tells you if your cycle times are dragging or if you're spending way too much on overhead compared to the shops that are actually killing it.
So it's a reality check.
It's a bucket of ice water to the face, but a necessary one. And look, if you're trying to scale up, there's some interesting movement with Action Machinery and Gladwin joining forces. They're basically making it easier to get your hands on high-end welding automation and used gear. It's getting to the point where a solo builder can have the precision of an army if they pick the right hardware.
Automation sounds expensive. I can already hear the listeners clutching their wallets.
It's an investment, sure. But I remember when I used to spend 4 hours hand filing edges because I thought a proper deburring station was an unnecessary luxury. My knuckles still haven't forgiven me for that period of my life.
You know, it's not just the machines getting an upgrade. I was looking at your notes on the complete technician concept. It sounds like the plumbing world is finally admitting that being a wizard with a pipe wrench isn't enough anymore.
Exactly. I saw what Lutz Plumbing is doing with their apprentices and it struck a chord. For years, we've treated tradespeople like they're just biological extensions of their toolboxes. But the complete technician is something else. It's technical skill married to, and I know this might sound a bit California to some of you, empathy.
Empathy? Tiger, are you going soft on me? Are we going to start hugging the HVAC units?
Not quite. But think about it. If a pipe bursts in your basement at 2 a.m., you aren't just looking for someone who knows the difference between PEX and copper. You're looking for someone who realizes your house is currently a lake and your stress levels are through the roof. If you can walk in, stabilize the situation emotionally, and explain the why behind the repair, not just the how, you aren't just a plumber, you're a hero. And heroes get paid way better than mechanics.
It's the soft skills equal hard cash mantra. But how do you teach that to someone who just wants to weld or wire a circuit?
You change the why. Instead of saying, here's how you solder a joint, you say, here's how you ensure this family has hot water for the next 20 years. It's a shift in perspective. If you're an apprentice right now, stop looking at the floor and start looking at the client. Understanding the business literacy side and the human side, that's how you go from an hourly wage to owning the fleet.
Speaking of owning the fleet, let's talk about the maker mogul side of things. I noticed you've been diving into Shopify's 2026 trends. Is it still just about selling one cool thing on the internet?
If you're only selling one thing, you're leaving money on the shop floor for the janitor to sweep up. The big word for 2026 is product bundling. It's what I call the core and satellite strategy.
Okay, break that down for me without the corporate jargon.
Right. Say you spend 40 hours making a gorgeous end grain walnut cutting board. It's a masterpiece. You sell it for $300. That's your core. But then you forget to sell them the board butter to maintain it, or the custom routed stand to display it, or even a branded scraper. Those are your satellites. They cost shuma pennies to make and very little time, but they increase the average order value.
It's the fries with that model, but for craftsmen.
Exactly, and don't sleep on the lightweight manufacturing folks either. The Cricut entrepreneurs are moving way past scrapbooking. We're seeing people build entire businesses around personalized home organization, pantry systems, etched glassware, the works. It's a gateway drug to serious e-commerce. You start with a vinyl sticker, and 3 months later, you're looking at warehouse space. It's a beautiful, dangerous slope.
Speaking of dangerous slopes, can we talk about this secret mountain table that's been taking over my social feed? It looks like something out of a fantasy novel, but I have a feeling it's a nightmare to actually build.
Oh, it's a total bear. You're essentially building a topographic map out of wood and resin. If you mess up the pour or your layers aren't perfectly sealed, you end up with 40 pounds of expensive plastic leaking all over your boots. But when it works, it's a conversation starter that stops people in their tracks. It's functional art.
And the vintage machine stands? That feels very Tiger style.
Guilty as charged. I'm tired of these modern stands that shake like a wet dog the second you turn on the motor. We're seeing a real return to heavy-duty cast iron style stands built from substantial timber. It's about making the shop look like it belongs in 1920, but works like it's 2026.
You mentioned a 48-hour sprint for these projects. As someone who has seen your weekend projects turn into 6-month sagas, I'm skeptical. How does a mere mortal finish a gallery-quality piece in 2 days?
Preparation is the only way you don't end up screaming at a pile of lumber on Sunday night. My rule is, Friday night is for the boring stuff. You sharpen the chisels, you prep your jigs, you sketch the cut list, and you make sure you actually have enough glue. If you're hunting for a tape measure on Saturday morning, you've already lost the battle. The Saturday bulk build is all about muscle and sawdust. Sunday is for the soul, the finishing, the sanding, the detail work.
So basically, don't be Tiger. Be the guy who actually plans.
Hey, I'm getting better. I only lost my 10mm socket twice this morning. That's a personal record.
Before we wrap up, what's the one thing you want people to take into their shops this week?
I think it's the realization that the manual for being a maker has been rewritten. Whether you're a tech-heavy metal worker, a plumber in the field, or a woodworker in your garage, the ceiling is higher than it's ever been. We have better tools, better data, and a bigger market than my grandfather could have ever dreamed of. But the soul of the craft is still in that why. Why are you building it? Who are you helping?
And maybe, don't forget the board butter.
Definitely don't forget the board butter. If you want to dive deeper into those learning paths or check out the project timelines we talked about, head over to the TigerDen site. We got guides for the trades, the moguls, and the DIYers.
Stay sharp, everyone, and try to keep your knuckles away from the sander this week.
No promises on my end. Keep building, folks.